2022, I want to speak a word to you to prepare for the Lenten journey, but also for the journey through this year of change. Now, the Gospels tell us that Jesus is led by the Spirit into the desert where he fasts for 40 days. And the same Spirit now leads the church into the 40 days of Lent as we prepare for Easter, when the desert becomes a garden and death is swallowed up in victory. The Spirit then can take us to some strange places, even to places we would rather not go. But it's always for the sake of love's transformation. In 2016, the same Spirit led the Church in Australia to begin a journey to a new place. This was when the Bishops' Conference, after years of uncertainty, decided for a plenary council in order to chart a course into the future. The council was to have not one but two assemblies, taking its cue from the two synods on marriage and the family, convened by Pope Francis back in 2014-2015. It was the Spirit who prompted the conference's decision, and the Spirit has accompanied us at every point since then. It's been a time of testing and a time of deep listening to the Word of God rather than to other voices, not unlike Jesus in the desert. The journey of the Plenary Council has, of course, been severely affected by the pandemic, and that's been part of the testing. The first of our three phases, the preparation phase, eventually had to be held online rather than face-to-face, which was less than ideal. The preparation phase ended with the first assembly in October 2021, and we're now in the middle of the celebration phase between the first and the second assemblies. A huge amount of work is being done to process all the raw material from the first assembly and to prepare a manageable agenda for the second, scheduled in Sydney for early July. The hope is that the agenda will contain creative, practical and affordable proposals designed to produce the change in the Church that we need. At the conclusion of the second assembly, we'll begin the implementation phase. The documents, decisions and decrees of the Council will be sent to the Holy See for confirmation, and once they are confirmed by the Pope, they'll become binding for the Church in Australia. In Brisbane, we plan to have an Archdiocesan Synod sometime after that to help embed the decisions and decrees in the life and mission of the Church here. And that may well lead to the regular celebration of synods in the Archdiocese in order to help us move to a more synodal mode of governance. From the beginning, the Plenary Council has looked beyond our shores to the universal Church. The Pope had to give his assent to the Council, and through the preparation phase there was ongoing dialogue between the Bishops' Conference and the Holy See. That dialogue has become more intense since Pope Francis decided for a worldwide synod process, which will climax with the Synod of Bishops meeting in Rome in late 2023. The Plenary Council, therefore, has to interweave with the wider synod process, each enriching the other. That will mean many voices in the Church being heard. In the preparation phase of the Council, there was broad consultation, and you're invited now to speak your mind as part of the global synod process. So I ask you, what would you say to Pope Francis about change in the Church, not just in Australia, but right around the world? You might also consider the 3 steps proposed by Evangelisation Brisbane, and that's available online. This is no time for turning inwards and looking just to our own institutional interests. It's no time to be a judgmental church which never notices the plank in our own eye, but makes a fuss about the splinter in the eyes of others. We need instead to become more and more a humble and compassionate church that looks outwards, asking how we might be more like Jesus, who came not to be served, but to serve. That will require a practical evangelical imagination which takes to heart the words of St. Mary MacKillop, never see a need without doing something about it. This is the kind of church to which both the Plenary Council and the Global Synod are looking. This is what the Spirit is now saying to the Church, speaking to all of us, to our heart, in these desert days of Lent.